So, in the past 6 months, I have been honored to be on the receiving end of so many referrals for amazing women executives, and which is incredible for me, and it's such an honor. But I also started getting a little bit curious, and why are they being referred? A lot of them are coming from coaches that they've stopped working with and they need someone new. And so I started getting curious about why are they having to make the switch. And so I wanted to create this in the event you were looking for a coach, or you have one that you're not quite happy with, or if you have one that you're not quite sure is the right fit. So hopefully this will be helpful. Now keep in mind that, as you may or may not know, I am a firm believer that executive coaching can change the trajectory of your career and even your life. I have seen it over and over and over. And it's been, like I said, such an honor to witness and be side by side with some of these leaders. But also, you have to consider that executive coaching has almost no guardrails. So how can you be sure if you picked the right one? Or what do you do if you think that maybe you don't have the right one? Now, here's the thing. The barrier to executive coaching is low. So almost anyone can call themselves a coach. So that's either the not so good news or good news if you're trying to break into coaching. But the certifications tend to be confusing, and a lot of times they're not what people don't really understand what they are, and they don't necessarily apply to you. So also, experience varies widely from coach to coach. And also, it's a big investment. If you're making it in yourself, or if your company is making it in you, then it is a very large investment, one of the biggest investments it's going to be made. So it's very, very important to make a good decision. And also, it's a legacy decision because it's not a transactional one, because the support that you as an executive receive from an executive coach, it's not only going to impact you, but it's going to impact your team as well. So here's the thing, 3 non-negotiables. The first one to make sure that you have, if you're looking or if you already have one, make sure that you and your coach have a fiduciary and a airtight, confidential relationship. Not mostly confidential, but also you need to have the safety and the freedom to have unfiltered, sometimes uncomfortable conversations, but also the freedom, like I said, and safety to be 1,000% honest. A lot of times companies might have in-house coaching, or they use these large coaching companies, or what have you, and sometimes these coaches can be incredibly helpful, but it's not going to be airtight and totally confidential. So make sure that your coaching relationship is confidential. Hey, number 2, you want to make sure that your coach is not afraid to challenge you. Coaches are not your friend. If you feel right now like you meet with your executive coach, you're a C-level leader, and you feel like you enjoy talking to this person, but you don't really feel like a whole lot was accomplished, you don't feel like you were made uncomfortable a little bit, or like something has moved forward, then they're probably not the right coach for you. They're probably not, either they're not trained to challenge you, or they are not comfortable doing that, or they don't have a proven process that they are moving you through. That's another thing too that is incredibly important, is that an executive coach, especially a C-level executive coach, should have frameworks and proven processes that are based in science. So they are not consultants, they are not therapists, they are not there to get on a call where they're not prepared, and it's very willy-nilly and unstructured, and it's driven by you, the client. So it should be structured, and they should be equipped to understand the right questions to ask you so you can make the most progress possible. And so more times than not, you are somewhat uncomfortable, because coaches, especially executive coaches at the C-level, they want to ask the questions that nobody else is asking you. They want to not be afraid to make you feel uncomfortable, because that's where the growth is happening. That's what you're paying them for. You are not paying them to be your friend. If they feel like a friend, either the relationship needs to change, or perhaps it's time to move on. And the third thing is the training and background needs to align with your needs. So they could be referred to you, or you could have, I'm not sure how you would go about finding a course. In my case, I get all referrals, but sometimes referrals come to me that aren't necessarily somebody that I would work with or that I'm the best person to work with. But if it's, for example, my training is in FBI hostage negotiation training, so high stakes communications, and also executive leadership, having confidence and influence, communication, world-class communication skills, and also getting, landing the role, getting paid what you're worth, and negotiating those salary packages and having influence in your role with your leadership team. So if someone is just starting in their career, I'm probably not the right person. So that's something to keep in mind as well. You could have an amazing coach, but perhaps they do not have the background that you're looking for. So these 3 things are incredibly important. If you have any more questions, or if I can support you in any way, please reach out to me directly. I answer all of my emails. And one thing I also wanted to share is there are quite a handful of cohorts going on right now. So not only am I working one-on-one with executive leaders, but executive women leaders, but I'm also working with their teams to help women stay in their role, to have a bigger voice, to have the confidence and impact that they want and deserve, and also so they stay in their role. So partnering with female executives to help their rising female leaders to keep going and have the support that they want and deserve, and to avoid attrition. So if I can answer any questions or support you or your team in any way, please reach out to me directly. I am cheering you on, and I hope to see you next time.